Assalamualaikum. My name is Ruhul Najwa and I will be introducing my group mates, Nur Faradiana. So today we will be presenting three worksheets based from the topic What Do You Like from Form 1. Okay, so this is the main objective for our presentations for today. We would like to give a briefly explanations of the worksheets and activity that we have created for the writing classes. Okay, so this is the first activity, which called roll the dice and write the story. So the content standard that we have chose is writing 4.1, communicate intelligibly through print and digital media on familiar topics. And for the learning standard, writing 4.1.3, narrate factual and imagine event and experiences. So the main objective of this activity is by the end of the lesson, students will be able to know how to write a full sentences of a story in front of the class. So let's move on to procedure of how this activity will be conducting in the writing classes. So first and foremost, teacher switches on the projector. And after that, teacher shows the slide on the canvas of certain types of hobby. As you can see here, I have stated two pictures from the slides, which is the first one is the topic to gain the idea from the students of which topic they will be learning. And the second one is some random pictures of types of hobby, so they need to guess or give names of that pictures, and then teacher asks student what is their hobby during their free time. After that, teacher also will explaining what they need to do for the activity. And to continue the activity, first teacher will ask students to be in a group of 3 students each, and after that the students need to choose their group mates, only one representative for their group. So next, after they have chosen their group representative, teacher will ask the representatives to fill in their names in an online mystery box based on the appendix 2. And after that, each representative need to choose the types of hobby using the word wall based on the appendix 3. So the process will continue until the last representative. As you can see here, the main purpose of why they need to fill in their names in an online mystery box is to know their turns, when can they pick the numbers, either the first group, second group, or the third group. So based on appendix 3, I have provided some random pictures behind the numbers, pictures of a hobby. So next is after choosing the picture, teacher will distribute a worksheet for the students before the activities start based on appendix 4, left and right side. So for the left side, I have provided a what you like for, some question, and they need to answer the question. After that, the main focus is to write a story. As you can see, the right side, I have provided 3 parts of the story: right at beginning, in the middle, and the ending of the story. So after they have picked the pictures, they have picked the numbers consisting of types of hobbies. And if for example, if they got a fishing pictures, so they need to write a story based on the picture of fishing. So after that, students need to answer some question and write a full story on the worksheet. So before they write a story, teacher provide a task for each group to roll before they started writing the first word in each sentence of the story. Students need to roll the dice in order to know how many words they can add to each sentence. And then students need to finish 4 sentences for each story part in 5 minutes. After that, they need to exchange their turn to roll the dice and also exchange their turn in writing the part of the story for the next 5 minutes. Student needs to stop writing after time's up, and teacher will call out name randomly to tell the story in front of the class. So the main purpose of the dice is they need to roll the dice, and after that, for example, if they got 6 dots, which means they only need to write 6 words in each sentence. And then for the next sentence or the next progress, they need to roll the dice again. So this is the answer scheme that we have provided. This is only suggested answer scheme for the question and also the story part. As you can see here, the story part mainly focus on fishing. So fishing is the hobby mentioned in the story. So next is the activity two, which called as what am I? Guess and write the hobby. So for the content standard and learning standard that we have shows, basically just remain the same as the previous activity, but the main difference is the objective of the activity. So the objective for this activity is by the end of the lessons, students will be able to guess and answer question given in the worksheet. So the procedure of how this activity will be conducted in the class, teacher will explain to the students about the next activity, and teacher distribute a worksheet to the students based on the appendix 1 that I provided on the right side of the slides, and teacher will explain the instruction to the students to gain the students understanding of what they will be doing in the class. And after that, teacher will provide two boxes consisting of a list of hobbies and their characteristic based on appendix 2. So I'm going to pass the presentations to Faradiana to give a further more explanations about how this activity will be conducted and about the appendix 2. Thank you.
Thank you, Najwa. So my name is Nofarjana and I will be elaborate more further and more detail about the activity. So we stop at teacher provide two boxes consisting of the list of hobbies and their characteristic. Each box will be filled in with only five pieces of paper, which is we have box A and box B. Then there will be only 10 selected students will be which we selected randomly to participate in the role playing while other students need to guess what kind of actions that were made by the representative students. Next is the chosen students need to act based on the paper that they get within 3 minutes, while other students are role playing. Other students need to guess the action. The process will be continue repeatedly until the last representative. After that, students need to choose one hobby based on the role play and answer all the questions in the worksheet within 5 minutes. And lastly, teacher will discuss the answer with the students. Next slide. So here's the material. We actually provided two different box, which is box A contain like the pictures of the hobby, and box B is actually contain of the characteristic of the hobbies that were shown in the box A. So the last box is actually the picture is actually two boxes filled in with five piece of each paper which is ready crumbled. Next slide. So here's our reference. The reason why we put reference is to show the picture and the characteristic visual more clearly. Next. So this is the answer scheme, which is suggested answer. The reason why we put just one suggested answer is because we want our students to able to answer the worksheet by their own, to use their own sentences, which is subjectively. We don't use any multiple question answer or multiple answer, which is they only need to choose. We want them to write in their own creativity and their own sentences. Next. This is our last activity, which is known as comic strip activity. So for the content and learning standard is actually same as the two previous activity, which is for the content standard, writing 4.1, communicate intelligibly through print and digital media on familiar topics. Learning standard, writing 4.1.3, which is the same as the two previous activity, narrate factual and imagined events and experience. The only difference is objective, which is by the end of the activity, students are able to create full sentences based on their understanding from the picture given. Next slide. So here's our procedure. Teacher will be introduced the comic strip activity. Teacher will explain the activity to the students. Teacher asks students to sit in a group of four each. Students need to choose their group representative for the activity. Teacher calls out the group representative to choose random scene from the comic strip to write in. Teacher instructs students to fill in the dialogue in four empty bubbles, which each according to their preference and creativity. Students group representative need to explain to their own group members what to do for the comic strip activity. Students need to write the correct sentences in the dialogue at least once in each bubble within 20 minutes. Teachers ask students group representative to read out aloud their dialogues to their classroom. So here is our appendix 1, which is the starting of the story. Next slide. So this is also the continuous from the story. Next. So this is also the continue and also the ending of the story. Before we show the answer scheme, we actually provide five scenes only, which is we started from the opening, where's the opening and also ended with the ending of the story. We put six pictures in each comic strips, and also we provide only four space blanks so that students can fill in the dialogues. Next. Now we've moved on to the answer scheme. Here is only the suggested answer. So the underline is actually the suggested answer, but we want our students to write in their own pace, their own creativity. Uh, they need to write the dialogue based on the character and also the picture, and we also put a hint for them, like from the previous, there's like previous dialogue, so that they will get the hint from it and they can write it in their own way. Next. So alongside this is also the answer screen for each page of the comic strip. So this is the end of the answer scheme for the activity comic strip. Now we move on to our conclusion. So this is our conclusion based on the activity that we already made, or even like based on this assignment, which is all the activities are made to encourage students to write in various ways, such as dialogue, complete sentences, how they're going to answer the subjective question, and essay. Then we have the activity as also made to attract students' attention to learn writing skills. Lastly, all the activities are also made to develop students that can write in their own sentences as to enhance their creativity in writing. Not only that, among all of these three activities that we made, we actually want our students to become more confident in their writing skills, and we also want to encourage them to write more, although it's just in dialogues, it's just in the simple sentences through this all activity. And I think that that's all from us today. Thank you for listening our presentation.